Welcome to Cubcast, the podcast where real guests share stories that inspire us through life's challenges. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the show. I'm happy that you enjoyed the trip. We are sitting down here back in the Cubcast studio. I'm very happy to have a special guest today, who I know for a while, but we finally got a podcast going. I'm happy to have you. How's your day going today?
Good, thank God.
Thank God. So we finally got this podcast going, and I'm very happy that you're here. Before we get anywhere, can you tell us a little about yourself, where you grew up, and just about your childhood and how everything started, before everything started?
So my name is Efrat Kamenetsky. I'm from Lawrence, New York. I'm 19 years old. I was born with a condition called Spina Bifida. It's a birth defect where in pregnancy, the baby's, I think it's like the sac is not closed, it's open. So it leaves the baby not able to walk. When they come out of the womb, a lot of babies have to have their back closed about a day into life, which is what I had. And it leaves a lot of neurological disabilities, physical disabilities.
Well, we actually had a guest on the show before, Elise Levine, one of our past episodes, and she happened to have the same condition. Now I'm seeing that I can put that together, I guess. But I know both of you from Kiss of Courage, so that's interesting that we had two on one, together in the podcast. So I'm very happy to have you here also, and they can hear your story. Obviously, every single person, even with the same condition, I guess it's different, I guess. So tell us a little bit more about your life, I guess, just who you are, who Efrat Kamenetsky is. Tell us a little bit about.
So I'm 19. I had just graduated high school 2 years ago. Last year, I worked in a kids' school in the Pyrenees, helping out and whatever. I love kids, so it's what I wanted to do with my life, and I want to eventually become a special education teacher.
Oh, wow.
And help kids who have disabilities thrive in school settings.
Where are you in school now?
So I'm not in college yet. We're trying to get me into college. I need to get my GED first, but I'm going to be working in the same school that I had worked in this year, but with a younger age. I'm going to be doing nursery this year.
Can you tell us a little about how you were born with it, right? So you can't say from where it started or whatever. As a kid, I guess, growing up, how was that for you?
It had its challenges, definitely. The challenges really only for me started from first grade up because I was too little to really know like what I had. I would be bullied because I looked a little bit different than everybody else. Some teachers even weren't the nicest to me, but I learned that to just take what I have and love it and just adapt.
That's important, especially going through that. But you went to a regular school.
Yeah.
And you were the only one in wheelchair?
Yeah, so that's another big part of it, was being the only one in wheelchair. It definitely raised a lot of stares and questions.
That must have been hard.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was like, I guess it was like, why am I different than everybody else? Like, why did God make me this way versus why couldn't I just be like a normal kid like everybody else?
So it's interesting. Actually had a past guest. We had Hoodie Aryeh, who was our second guest in the podcast, and she actually spoke about that. Bullying wasn't in her vocabulary.
Yeah.
It never came into her life, which I don't understand. Because for me, okay, maybe I was different. I was bullied a little bit also, with not a little different, a slight different, but this is, to another degree of having disability. Well, growing up, how did that did it affect your mindset growing up? How did that take a toll in your life, I guess? Not just in school, but out of school.
It didn't really take a toll on me so much physically because I was used to like the way that I lived, being in a chair, not being able to walk, having to be carried up and down steps, having my chair lifted by other people to get up and down steps. But this is in school, out of school, everywhere. There was an elevator, but it was broken a lot of the time, so I either wouldn't be able to go to school or I'd have to be carried up and down steps by school maintenance and custodians.
It actually happened to me. I went to a high school to speak and tell my story a little bit to a classroom. Thank God I was on the second floor, but the elevator broke on me. And it was only just last year, and it was hard for me to go down. So it was very nice. I felt like maybe in your situation a little bit because I had students ask me, would you want help? Which I don't really see that a lot. That's not something common. And what happened was they helped me down the stairs. They didn't carry me, but I kind of did myself, and they helped me, which was very nice. I was left off with like I didn't know even what to tell them. It was so nice of them, and I felt your situation because when I was in high school, I was able to figure it out. It wasn't like that for me. Life was a little easier physically.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about your family and how your relationships with your family, how with a disability or...
So I live at home with my parents, my grandmother, my 3 siblings, my brother Mordecai, my sister Rachel, and my sister Brenda. They had always treated me like I was completely normal because I'm the youngest in my family. Above me is Rachel. She is 26. Above her is Mordecai. He is 31. And above him is Brenda, who is 32. She has 3 beautiful boys.
Oh, and your sister.
Yeah. Rachel, because she did kiss a card.
Yeah.
I never felt different in my siblings and in my family because they're used to it. They had grown up with a disabled sister. So it was like, okay, she's disabled. What's the problem? It was like, okay, she's just like me or anything else.
But I guess it's maybe the younger sisters, like they're probably there for you.
Definitely. Being the youngest one at home was definitely, I didn't really have anyone underneath me. I was alone a lot because my siblings were out with friends or they were out on dates because they were of that age. So it was mostly me and my parents at home. And I would have a lot of volunteers come over from different organizations to spend Shabbat afternoons with me. I had this one amazing human being who I'm still in touch with. Her name is Hubie. She would walk over to my house on Shabbat afternoons in snow, rain, shine, anything. She would be at my house to take the burden, I guess, not burden, but like the little bit of work off my mom's shoulders to play with me a little bit and like take me to the park and go on walks with me to just occupy me a little bit and give my mom a little bit of a break.
Oh, wow. So that's important. That's very nice that you had somebody that was there for you, not only as a friend, but as someone to help you. And not even that, not only you had people supporting you as siblings, but you had friends that were also there for you.
Yeah.
So how was that support system, I guess, through your life, how it worked, I guess, physically and emotionally?
So it's still there today, very much. I did hang around a lot of older people that weren't my age so much because the kids weren't exactly nice to me because of my disability and because I looked a little bit different. They didn't really know how to deal with it. So I guess I had more adult relationships. So I didn't really know how to like communicate with kids my age. And it was very difficult for me because they would be going out at night or going to people's houses on Shabbat. And I would never be invited because they would always be worried about how I would get up the steps, how I would be able to, I guess, be with them and and get on the floor with them if they were playing a floor game. And that really was one of the things that took a huge toll on me socially.
Wow.
So I did hang around a lot with older people.
So you have like this old soul.
Yeah, inside me a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so how did that feel? How did that feel, I guess, like how did that feel emotionally, like inside?
It was it was hard because I would see all the girls my age be going out to parties or going out to ice cream and going out for lunch and dinner with their friends, and I would be left alone at home because I wouldn't be able to get in their cars or they wouldn't want to walk with me because they were afraid of, I guess, hurting me.
Oh, wow.
If I would fall, and they didn't really know how to deal with that. So I would and still am spending most of my time at home because of that.
So that probably was difficult growing up like that. That was probably hard. That's something that maybe we all deal with in certain ways, I guess. Obviously, if you don't have a disability, it's another world. But if someone could be made fun of and taken away from the crowd, but for me, I get where you're coming from. Like people did treat me a little differently, but it's
very different.
It's very different for me. Like now I kind of feel it. I feel the way you're saying it. But for Efrat was actually, Kids of Courage. I knew you from Kids of Courage.
Yeah.
And Efrat was like the little sister, like the little sister in Kids of Courage. I knew you from when you were a lot younger. And just looking left and looking right, knowing that you're 19 is just crazy to me. So like, were you the youngest on the trip at one point? Or?
I think I was,
Yeah.
along with Ella Jacobs. I believe so.
So when did you first start? When did you first hear about it? Like when?
I believe I was 6 or 7, and I believe that was my first trip. So I don't really know how my mom got involved with it, but I guess she heard of it from somebody else, and she wanted me to have like the camp experience, quote unquote. And I was able to have that because there was medical personnel on the trip who took care of us if we needed any help. We were paired up with a counselor / buddy who would be one-on-one with us. So they would be able to give us one-on-one attention. They would share a room with us. So at night, if we needed anything, they would be able to help us. In the morning, they would help us get dressed.
What year is this that you were started?
I believe 2013 or 2014.
Oh, wow. So that was when I started.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. 2012 even. I think I was maybe even 5.
Yeah, I went on the camp in 2014, and then I got involved more later on to speak and get involved.
Yeah.
Which is nice. But it's funny that I asked this question. I think it comes hand in hand. The reason I said Kiss of Courage is because Kiss of Courage is an organization that helps people through. They take them on a summer trip for 8 days, and that takes the burden off the family and yourself, and you're able to realize and meet people that
are the same as you.
Yeah, exactly, that are the same as you, that have a condition or disability or any type of thing, and you're even go with the same condition. So how'd that feel, knowing that you had other people that were similar to you, or even that you were able to go out and have fun again?
So it was a huge support system, because I went out to I didn't know anything about this camp because I was very young. But when I had gone, I had realized that I'm not the only one who has challenges, whether it be physically, emotionally, even mentally. And just seeing that, it was a sense of comfort, because I used to always think that I was the only one who was in a wheelchair or had to do things a little bit differently, a little bit slower. So it was a giant support system.
That's nice. That's important, especially if you're going through things at home and you get to get out and go.
Yeah.
Once you started in the camp, how far after did you start meeting friends and be able to have friends that had a similar case than you or disability, if not?
Really, the first year. Honestly, like the first day, I would say, that I got in there, I was just looking around and I saw a lot of wheelchairs. And I realized that I'm not the only one in a wheelchair. Like, there's other people.
You're not alone.
Exactly. There's people who have muscular dystrophy, people who are blind, people who are deaf. And you get to see how they handle life, I guess.
I could tell you one story that hit me that I'm actually like getting a little emotional about, because it was such a beautiful story. I met one of the girls, the little girl, I forget her name.
Kylie, I think.
So I didn't really know how to deal with it, because I didn't know like she's blind, and like it's just interesting how she's able to have such a smile on her face. It was so beautiful seeing it. And we were at like an amusement park in Maine. It was so beautiful. We were at like an amusement park, literally at the beach. It was such a sight to see. It was so beautiful. And I went up to the counselor and I said, "Does she know where we are?" You explained to her where we are. I said, "I don't know. I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to do that. Who was supposed to do that?" I was like, "No, it's very important. Go and talk to her about where we are." So they told me, "You do it." I was like, I don't know what to do. So I went out and I did it. I thought it felt good doing it, because I was able to actually connect with somebody who was different than us. And sometimes we don't know how to deal with it because because we don't know how to deal with it because we're different. But just go out there and talk to those people that are going through it. It's just like, sometimes it's hard to do it at first for someone that you haven't spoke to before, and how you do it, like, especially a sensitive topic about, oh, do you see, do you not?
Yeah.
So then I told her, I said, "Look where we are." And she's like, she just, with her smile, she's like, "Oh my God, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that." And then it was an experience that I had to see. And I got a little emotional about how, like, wow, look, I can see the world. I can see such a beautiful world, and some people can't see that. And something that you dealt with the other day, you were telling me about somebody not talking to like a regular person. So maybe that's how she feels, not, someone talking to her. So why don't you tell us a little bit how maybe people don't talk to you the same way as other people because you're different? Tell us about how you experience that.
So a lot of people do it on a daily basis. I would be... So yesterday, for example, I was in a restaurant with my parents, and we had met a friend of my mom's, and she had came over to the table and then started talking to us, having a conversation, and she says to my grandmother, "What's her name? What's her name?" And my grandmother responds to her, she goes, "Ask her. She's sitting right there. Ask her her name." And she's like, "She speaks?
Oh my God.
She talks?" And she's like, "She is 19 years old. Like, she does speak. Talk to her and ask her." She's like, and then she proceeded to have a conversation with me. These people don't know what the capabilities are, I guess, of other people, because some people in wheelchairs can't speak because they have other difficulties that allow them to not speak. But if you're going to talk to a person who, for example, like me, is in a wheelchair, just start talking to them. Just talk to them like have a
They're there.
normal person. They're there, they look different, but that's no reason to treat them like they're littler than you or, I guess, stupider than you because they have the exact same brain space that you do and they don't like it. At least I don't like being talked to like I'm 5 years old, and I can probably attest to other people that they want to be talking to like they are a person.
Yeah, but not even that. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. That's number one. Number two, they'll talk to you
in a childish
voice. That's probably bothers you.
Yeah.
Sure.
To no end. Yeah.
And I'm sure it bothers everybody. And we actually had a discussion in one of the last podcasts with Ron Segev, who was a Nova Festival survivor. And he felt like a zoo animal in some way of like, how do we speak to him? We don't know how to talk to him. Just sometimes it's better. Sometimes they say it's better to say nothing than something, which I actually watched your podcast that you had with Yaakov Langer, and they spoke about that idea
they did. Yeah,
in some way. And that's just, it's important to really, to see these situations because they don't know, you have to treat them just like anybody else. And sometimes it's hard to say something, but really it's better to say anything because just speak your mind, make it like they're regular. Don't think differently. Talk to them about life. You don't have to actually talk to them about your disability. Look at what you have. No, talk to them. Hey, how's it going? Just get to know who they are as a person. They're just people, and maybe they might look a little different, but they are the same.
They're the same like you, but on the inside.
And even if somebody actually, there's some people with disabilities that don't look like they're aware.
Disabled.
I'm saying they don't look like they're mentally aware, some of them, but they really are, and they hear you deep down. Maybe they can't express themselves. Maybe they just don't know how to say what they're saying. But just speak to them just like they are. They're there, they're human. They might look a little different, but guys, teach everyone around you about this. Your children, I even teach my classmates. My nephew, I'm sure your nephew learns also. I just met your nephew, but my nephew, I actually asked him the other day to help me with my shorts. He's 4 years old, and I asked him because I know that it's important for him to learn and be it's normalized.
Normalize it.
So like if he sees you, he's going to talk to you just like anybody else because he's he's also brought up as well. To my brother and me. Yeah. So he understands it. So how does that relationship with your nephew?
So he is 12. He's 12 now. As a younger child, I would get annoyed when we would have my other chairs in the house for portability if I ever needed. And he would sit in it and he would run around the house. I also used to walk with arm crutches, be in a full leg brace, not my crutches. And he would use them as swords.
No way.
Or he would use them like as a cane. And that would irk me because I thought that it was only for me. And I thought that if he would use it, he would break it. And those were basically, I guess, my legs, as you would call them, because that was one of my only ways to get around because I didn't have use of my legs.
So that must have been challenging, but at the same time, well, I think it's cool that he had imagination with that.
That's what desensitized him.
Yeah, exactly. But did he help with you around things? Did he like how is he?
He did not. He still doesn't really unless he's asked.
He's asked, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. So he separates himself a little bit. He does.
He tends to.
Okay, but at least if he what I see a lot. Let's say I'm in a wheelchair getting pushed to shul, like on Shabbat. I see kids are staring.
Exactly. Yeah.
They get it, but I guess if you teach them from young, they can actually not stare. Maybe.
Yeah, and that we're not two animals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're not. We're not in a cage. We're not caged. It's also on the parents' part because parents can educate their children a little bit more. They can say they can give them almost a talk, I guess. Is that if you see someone on the street, don't point.
Don't point.
Or don't say, oh, hey, look, why are you in a wheelchair? Or just don't stare. If you're younger than the age of 5, then I would understand it. But if you're older than 10, or if you're from the ages of 5 to 10, then I don't think it's appropriate for you to be staring.
Well, and that's something that I guess learned from Kids of Courage. I mean, going on Kids of Courage, I'm able to learn and bring awareness to the people and show them their abilities, what they have. That's number one. Number two, also just bring awareness to them to understand it. And that's what I do by maybe speaking or even this podcast, but getting to know people on Kids of Courage and seeing how, different conditions and how they're able to deal with it.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. How do you go live about this? Like when these things come up and they make you feel annoyed and upset, how do you deal with it? I actually discussed this idea a little bit with different podcast guests. How does it make you feel in these situations when people don't treat you the same?
So it makes me feel, I guess, littler than I am. Because it's, again, I'm just like you, and I have full brain capacity. I just don't have use of my legs. And a lot of the times I do feel underestimated because a lot of people do think that just because she's in a wheelchair, she, I don't know, can't go to a restaurant with us because they have benches, I guess, or chairs. And a lot of times when I do go out to restaurants, the waiters will just do it indistinctly. They will move a chair out. They will move a chair out for me so I can just roll up to the table and just sit like everybody else. But I almost want people to ask me about my disability because obviously not to deep questions like how do you use the bathroom, those kind of questions. I've gotten those before, and I just wish people would be more educated. Like they would almost, I guess, read up on more disabilities and stuff to educate yourself a little bit more.
Maybe they should even have a curriculum in school. Teach that. I think it's important. That's like real life situations, and that's what schools sometimes don't do. Like we need to deal with regular life situations, and that's something they should be teaching from young. Especially
older kids, like high school ages, I think they should have like a class, I guess.
So I was thinking actually do something, and maybe we can get you involved, but I was thinking to even do in a high school and bring a bunch of people with disabilities and speak what they have and have a few speakers speak and bring awareness to the schools that haven't seen it and don't know it. Yeah. I think elementary maybe is a little too much. It's a little bit too young. Because they really get it and like it's
maybe 8th grade and up would be an idea so they can start going into high school, I guess.
Yeah.
Knowing.
So why don't you tell us a little about I guess yourself that I don't know. Maybe I met you on Kids of Courage and I don't really know you as much as I thought I knew you, I guess. But you grew up in 5 towns, you said?
No, actually, I grew up in Brooklyn, and then our house was not accessible for me, and we needed to repair it, I guess, to make it more accessible for me. And I had gone into a school in 5 towns, and I used to commute every morning. I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because classes started at 8. Well, davening started at 8, and then I had to be there for davening. So I would wake up at 5, I would get dressed, get ready for school, pack my stuff, and we had a friend who was going into 5 towns for work. He would drive me. So we met a couple people, and they told my mom, if she's going to school in 5 towns anyways, why don't you build a house in 5 towns? Because that way she won't have to commute. It'll make your life a lot easier because you won't have to pick her up from school, or you won't have to, I guess, drive her to and from school. So it really started from there, and now we are in the 5 towns. Was 13 going to 9th grade.
Oh, wow. That's probably how'd that make you feel once you had the accessible home and things were, I guess, getting easier to commute? How was that?
So we still don't have an accessible home. We rented. My bedroom was on the 1st floor, so it was a lot easier for me. And I didn't travel up and down the steps, but we are, God willing, building a house. It's hopefully going to be ready next month, actually. It's going to be fully accessible, so it's going to have an elevator. It's going to have stovetops that I can reach so I can cook for myself.
That's exciting.
I'm going to have my own bedroom. I used to have to say this, but have to sleep off my parents' room because that was the only accessible room. in the house. I was never able to go upstairs. And when I had a sleepover with a friend, they would have to sleep with me in a room with my parents. And I don't know, it made me a little bit uncomfortable because I didn't want to have to make my friends do that. But at the same time, I wanted the experience of sleepover. So I guess I kind of made them do it for my sake. Kind of a little selfish, but
Yeah, but that's it. It's important to have everything that you need in the right place, and that's something that I saw. I met somebody who has a very tough time and hard time to walk. Someone that I met in Florida, and he doesn't have accessibility to his room, and it made me feel like, wow, I'm so thankful and so grateful for what I have. That's number one, that I have accessible home, and number two, it's someone else listening out there. Just realize that you have such a gift in your life that you can go freely and not have to
yeah,
deal with everything. You can do everything on your own without thinking that.
yeah,
And so that's something that we can give to the other people from your
definitely.
experience.
Also, the public.
Yeah.
Public is very, very important because normal people who don't live with a disability have a very different picture in their mind of what accessibility is. So I can get to a store and I look online. I always look online before, or at least I try, because I need to know what the accessibility details of it are. I can go online and it can say that it's fully accessible, and I'm like, okay, great, it's fully accessible.
Google Maps, it's great.
Google Maps, Google, even like the new Google apps that they have, where you can search store. I will get to the store and there will be a bump to get up into the store. God willing, when I get more independent and when I have a family, God willing, I can't get to a store and because I'm going to be going there myself. Like, I'm not going to be having a companion because I need to start getting more independent and not always relying on a companion because there's a certain age where you won't necessarily have a companion with you. And I'll get to a store and they'll have a bump and I won't be able to go in there, or I'll have to ask a random person on the street to bump me up. And it gets a little bit uncomfortable sometimes because you don't know who that person is and you don't know what their intentions are.
Yeah, they can just bump you the wrong way and out you go.
So they can take advantage of you because
You go what?
they could take advantage of you
Yeah,
because you are disabled and don't have means to run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's an important aspect. I'm trying to like understand this myself. Try how in your life, right? You have, let's say, condition, and some people they don't have the condition. They're regular. They have everything they need. But for you, what are your pros to having a disability? This is something interesting. The pros and cons to it of how that is able to help you. The disability, there are parts that are very good. And I actually watched a video today. Someone saying that he's thankful that he has what he has.
Yeah.
I guess if you had a disability, if you didn't have a disability, how would that be? And if you did, as you do, does that change your perspective in a way?
Number one pro, I would say, is airports because you are in a chair, you get pushed through the lines and you get to skip.
That's great. That's great.
But being a female and being a person in a wheelchair, you need female assist to do a pat down, whereas it's probably for you. You can get up and you can walk through the line, and there is a lot of waiting involved with these things, but I would say patience is also a number one thing that you need to have because people are trying. It's definitely hard, but you have to remember that people are trying to help you. And as much as you want to, I guess, rush them or get a little bit angry at them sometimes, if they're not doing it correctly for you or not doing it quickly enough for you, you can't and you shouldn't because they're trying their best. And I don't think you would like it if, let's say, you were trying to stand up from your chair and it does take you a little bit more time. If someone was sitting right on top of your face and being like, okay, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We have to make the flight or we have to go. It's not very pleasant. So I try to be as patient as possible. Cons are definitely accessibility. It's number one. Broken elevators,
just getting around.
And the system is quite broken, is something that I would say, because a lot of the streets, for example, have curb cuts that are very large, and wheelchair users who are independent don't have guardians with them, and they get to a bump in the street and they realize that it's too high. So they either have to go in the street, which is a safety risk to anyone, but someone who is in a wheelchair is a lot lower than you. So drivers can't exactly see them. So there's always risk of getting hit by a car, by a bus, or anything, God forbid, that is moving. So New York City, I feel like and anywhere.
I know someone from Kids of Cards that actually got hit because maybe they didn't see them. It's a little scary.
Yeah. So
I
don't know how.
I don't know how he's still standing.
Yeah, no. Accessibility is definitely a big thing that needs to be fixed.
But I was saying maybe in a different way, maybe like perspectives, like your perspective, how has it changed having a disability? Obviously, you grew up with it, but maybe it's from when you were younger until now, maybe.
So when I was younger, I was a little bit more, I guess, daring, quote unquote, because I would want to try more things. But I realized that as I got older that they're not practical for me. Whereas when I was younger, they were. For example, standing with a mobile stander. I had a stander that they would put me inside of. They would Velcro me in, and it would have wheels. So I would be standing, I would be getting my exercise in while still being in a chair and standing up. So that definitely helped me a little bit. That was another perspective that I think if I wouldn't have had that when I was younger, I don't think I would be where I am today. Also, physical therapy. Physical therapy is a big, big, big help. As much as I hate it and as much as I don't like to do it, I need to. Because, for example, car transfers. I don't think that if I didn't have the therapist that I had today, she's amazing. I don't think that I would be able to, I wouldn't have learned as much as I do now. I used to not be able to get into cars because I didn't know how to transfer myself. But in the past year and a half to 2 years in physical therapy, I've been learning transfers and how to help myself in certain situations that I might have not necessarily known without these people.
So I guess that's something that it's cool that you said all these things, details, and that's something that I'm thankful for having disability is that it helps me see the small things in life.
Yeah,
and
you are so thankful for the small things once you have a disability.
So I did a speech the other day. Actually, it was inspiring. I gotta send it to you. For SBH Sephardic Cholim. It was an amazing speech, and I was able to tell everyone stand up, and now sit down.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's stupid, right? You guys think it was stupid, right? But you don't realize your gift that you have, that you're able to do these small things in life. And that's something that I was gifted to be able to help other people see that, I guess.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize what a gift a foot is.
Yeah.
Like 2 feet. I guess coming from a person who doesn't have that ability, it's almost more of a gift for me because I have feet, thank God. I have feet that, even though they don't necessarily work the way that I want them to, they still work and they're still there for a reason. And I have my arms to make up for it because my arms are basically my legs, pretty much.
So I saw when you got into this pool area by my house. It was hard to get around, but you were stubbornly like,
yeah.
You don't ask everybody for help. It looks like, which is a good thing.
That is one thing people don't know about me is that I'm very stubborn.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said you wanted to, like, as a young child, you wanted to do certain things, but you push yourself to do it, which is important. It's an important thing to be stubborn.
Exactly.
Then you actually get things done, and you push yourself, which is important. But how do you deal with that, like from like knowing that you're doing too much or too little? We discussed this a few times in other podcasts.
Yeah, there's a certain point where your body just gets tired. I know for me, at like a certain point of the daytime, I'm done. I get exhausted, and I used to not listen to my body because I used to think that I had a lot more energy than I do. But I've learned that the number one thing is to listen to your body and know when it's giving you cues to like tell yourself that you're done. And as much as you do want to do more things, and as much as people do want you to do more things, you can't because you need to save your energy for other things, like doing your medical regimen. For example, for me, I can't do too much stuff because I know that every other day, I have an hour and a half, 2 hour medical regimen to do. And that does tire me out a lot.
In the morning or night?
At night. So I tend to do my stuff pretty early in the day so I can get it done, and I guess I'm more of a free night.
Yeah.
More.
Hours, that's all.
I've had times where it's taken 4, and it's taken a lot of things away from me.
If you don't mind me asking, what's this like medical thing?
So I a lot of people with spina bifida don't have bowel and bladder care, so they don't have control of what's called their sphincter. So a lot of times that we have accidents, and a lot of times that we could be outside and we could have just done our enemas and we could defecate ourselves and we need to go home and our night is cut short because of that. I also use a catheter to go to the bathroom. And you don't realize what a gift that you have, I guess, to be able to go to the bathroom yourselves and to be able to.
It's also hard, like, it's a weird conversation sometimes. But
yeah, but I like doing it because it educates me.
Because it's important to know what it's like, and I guess it's important, and it's education to people. But not even that, we have the ability to go to the bathroom every day.
And shower yourself.
Gift is
showering yourself is a gigantic thing. You don't realize, because I guess I've dealt with people showering me my whole life, so I don't really know what it is to take a shower by myself. But if you have the ability to shower on your own, thank God for it, because it's a big, big, big thing. And being able to use the bathroom private is yourself after the shower, just doing things in private is just a gift.
We know there's other guests, there's other people. I don't have to say like names and whoever it is, but like there's some people in Cubcast, they take 30, 40 minutes doing the medication. And for me, I'm complaining about one little thing that I have to do that's a little different than other people, but it's, we're lucky to have that. And why don't you tell us a little about what your hobbies are, what you love to do, and also tell us a little about boxing. I know that you box, and that's really inspires me when I see it. And I know you like to post a lot on WhatsApp and Instagram, and tell us a little about how that feels when you go boxing, and just tell us a little just about how you box, how you even thought of doing it, which is amazing.
So my hobbies, I want to become a makeup artist. I'm in middle of makeup classes now. I do makeup on myself. I do makeup on other people because it's an art form and it makes me feel pretty at the same time. So it's an art form of expressing yourself, and it's an art form of doing something while having fun. To get into boxing, a couple of years ago, I had seen on somebody's Instagram page, she was not disabled. I saw her doing it with the same person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so much fun. I want to try it for myself. So
you just saw a regular video? It was
a friend of mine.
Oh, friend of yours.
So I happen to be the personal trainer.
With disability.
She does not. The trainer I work with now was the same trainer who was working with her. And I had contacted him via DM on Instagram. And I'm like, hey, how are you? Hope all is well. I want to get into boxing, but I have to let you know that I am disabled and I have to do things a little bit differently. He goes, okay, let's do it. Set a date up. I will come to your house. We'll do a trial. We'll see if it's something that you're interested in. From that day, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. Also, a lot of people in wheelchairs don't know how to defend themselves. So it's a way of self-defense as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that he didn't stop it, and it didn't stop you from knowing. You didn't see someone disabled. You saw someone regular. So that just shows that
I don't see myself.
You don't see yourself differently, and that's important. That's very important thing. And do you think, I don't know, if I would, let's say we box together, right? Would you think you would beat me? I think.
Well, you do have use of your legs a little bit more than I do, so I think that's a little bit more to your advantage. It takes a lot of practice.
No, let's say I was sitting down.
Okay, if you're sitting down, maybe I might win you. Who knows? But yeah.
It would be cool to see how that works. Like, if you think that you're regular and you don't have this disability, maybe you'd beat me. It's very inspiring. I see your Instagram and you put some inspiring, and I told you, you're like, regular or whatever. To you, it's like
it's regular to me. Yeah, because I'm used to.
Yeah, that's important. That's it.
Yeah.
So I remember on Kids of Courage, and if I'm not mistaken, you look like you were creative and you were like doing some art stuff. So
yeah.
I guess that has to do with makeup in some way.
Yeah, it's very different because you are working with a image of things out in front of you. Like if you wanted to, let's say, I don't know, create a picture of a bird, you would take paper, you would take pencil, you would sketch it out first. Then you would take pencils, markers, whatever you want to use, and then you would be like mixing colors, creating shading. So it's a little bit different because makeup's on a face and you need to learn how to work with other people's face shapes versus where art is just, it's flat on paper, I guess. That'd be the best way to describe it.
Yeah, how does that make you feel when you do it? Is it like therapeutic? What's your...
So I actually started picking up something called diamond art, which is when COVID came. actually before COVID, because I had pneumonia. I was sitting in the bed, and when people with physical disabilities get sick, it's a little bit more serious. Then, whereas to a able-bodied person would get sick, it's a lot different because our immune systems aren't strong, and it takes more time for us to heal. So my cousin actually owned a toy store, and she thought that it would be a cool project for me to send me over. And I would sit in bed with my little lap desk, and I would do diamond art. Basically what you do is it's a canvas that has an adhesive on it, and it's like a bit by number, but with stickers. It's really fun. I do it now still.
I remember when I was in a rehab center just recently, breaking both my legs. There was a lot going on. It was hard, and I wanted to go outside, and they didn't let me go outside. So what they had instead, they had art.
Yeah.
They had painting, and I never paint that. I was like, I'm not doing this. And I took time, and I said, okay, I'll try it.
I'll paint.
So I did it. It was honestly the best therapy that I ever did in my life, and I want to do it more.
Yeah.
It helped me through it. If I didn't go outside, I was painting, and that was something that really helped me, and it was very calming and relaxing, and I loved it. So I want to do it again.
Listen to a podcast while you're doing it. Listen to music.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good
listen to an audiobook.
Yeah, listening to music. So imagine listening to a podcast or Torah or like a rabbi speaking would be easy to do it. So that's a good point. I'm going to call you for more advice on that. But speaking about advice, why don't you tell us a little about if somebody dealing with maybe a situation that they were diagnosed recently, or they have a situation where it got hard, or any day-to-day challenge that they have, what would you tell them that are dealing with this right now, or even tell their family to give them advice on how they can do it? And I'm the listening ear. I'm learning also. As I interview people, I get to learn about other people and how they get through it. And for me, it can help me in my regular life, and it can help anybody else listening. Yeah. So what would you tell them?
Number one, your struggle define you. That would be probably the most important thing.
Don't let what?
Your struggles define you.
Define you, got it.
Just because you may do something slower or something differently, you're still going to get it done. If you have that mindset of, I'm going to get this done, you're going to figure out a way to get it done. Like for me, I wanted to figure out a way to get more fit because I didn't really feel good about myself the way that I looked. So I took the initiative to DM this person on Instagram, and it started from there. And I do feel like I'm stronger because of it, mindfully and physically.
Well, physical therapy or just?
Both boxing and physical therapy. Oh, wow. Because boxing is more to get your aggression out, and physical therapy is more for life skills, I guess. One thing that I would tell a family with a disabled siblings or disabled child is give them time. They are going to learn how to do things eventually. Don't do it for them. Let them figure out how to do it themselves, and let them ask for help. Because I know me is like, I've been helped all my life. And now, at 19 years old, I'm just starting to learn how to do normal tasks myself. Like, this may sound silly, but brush my hair. Because I've always had people brush my hair for me.
That's very detailed. I like how you're very detailed with things.
Or put a shirt on for me. I started learning how to put a shirt on at 16 years old. Because I've always had people help me put my shirts on. Or we have something called a sock aid, where it's a tool.
About that, I hate that thing.
Yeah, it's important to.
Honestly, you're talking to the right person. I actually really do more things, but it's important to do things yourself.
Definitely, in the long run, it's going to help you as much as you hate it now. It's going to help you.
Even just putting your shirt on.
Putting your shirt on, I guess for me is not so difficult because I have a lot of upper body strength, but putting your shirt on, it takes a little bit of work. And if you're not, let's say, like for you, your disability, correct me if I'm wrong, but it causes your muscles to slow down a little bit. So for you, I guess putting on a shirt a little bit more complicated for you?
It's complicated. I kind of just have to do it by leaning on the wall.
Exactly.
But actually, I guess me having a situation that most people would have, and people, like, not most people, but if they had an injury, let's say. I broke my shoulder last year, and it was like 4 weeks of
relearning.
I couldn't put a shirt on myself. And just like I couldn't put on a shirt, someone else going through an injury on their shoulder, regular person going through an injury on their shoulder, they know how it's going to feel. And when they're able to get that back, they realize their gift.
Exactly.
So whoever's listening right now and has the gift to put on their shirt, take advantage.
Please.
And others don't have it, and others lost that ability because they didn't appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a little bit belittling, I guess. It takes your confidence a little bit away when you have to have someone, let's say, put your underwear on for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or put a shirt on for you, but take the help.
Ask your nephew, your 4-year-old nephew, to do it for you, and that's what I did. You can do the
He'll
same.
obviously do it.
He did. He helped me with my shorts. It was
My
unbelievable.
goodness, she'll do anything.
It was unbelievable seeing it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that we're able to get through subjects that were hard, but also
Exactly. Fun.
fun to talk about. So I'm very happy that we had you today.
Thank you.
And
Again.
it was inspiring to actually hear what you had to say, and your details really helped myself get through it. And I'm sure others took from this that are going to take it with them back home or to themselves.
I hope so.
So we appreciate having you today. It was good to see you, Efrat.
You too. Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you more. Come by. You're always invited to come over. Come swimming. Come hang out.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate having you.
Thank you again.
And any last words?
Again, just appreciate the things that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate the small things.
Appreciate the small things, even if it's being able to eat by mouth, or hold a spoon, or just anything in the world.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining Cubcast. Thank you, Efrat, for coming, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.